Hey everybody, this is Naima Ahmed, Nima the Geek, bringing you Final Destination Bloodlines. Now, this is my first video, so please be kind. I know this is not much of a set, and my Luffy kind of Final Destination itself onto my rocking chair, but despite that, we are soldiering on with Final Destination Bloodlines. So, now, I think we can all agree that there are two kinds of people in this world. There are those who say this and kindly, quietly move on to another lane, and those who have not seen the Final Destination franchise. Now, before I jump into the movie, let me tell you why I started with this specific one. When there are so many out there just waiting to be explored, I simply wanted to start my channel with a movie that meant a lot to me. And hear me out. Why? Yeah, my hair is doing its own thing. We're in the middle of a heat wave. Just let it be. So it's 2001, and I think, or 2000. Somewhere in there. I'm not confused about the release date, I'm confused about when I saw it. And we're pretty much, I'm a 90s baby, not a 90s kid, 90s baby, which means that I might have been 9 or 10 at the time that I first saw my first Final Destination movie. So it's a weekend. My father and I had a tradition, unspoken, where I had a 1-year-old baby brother who was often asleep. Mom was busy with housework, and Dad and I would just while away our Saturdays, me being the nerd that I am, having finished my homework on Fridays. We had a little tradition of channel surfing. Yes, channel surfing. And I'm talking about, not doom scrolling as we do now, but channel surfing on those chunky, really big TVs, fat TVs. We had a very brown, very, very chunky TV, excuse me. And so here I am, Dad, with his feet up on the table in a very casual position, just sitting on his own sofa, me lying horizontally on a single seater, with my head on one armrest and my legs dangling off the other, and we're looking for something to watch. Sometimes it was football, soccer for American fans. Sometimes it was cricket if there was some tournament going on, or most of the time it was a movie. Mostly good movies, but yeah. So no cell phone for me, no trailers. We had no idea what this movie was about. I wasn't allowed to be online without supervision, by the way. Let's be honest, Final Destination does not seem like a horror name. It can be a thriller name. So Dad landed on HBO while he's channel surfing for things to watch. And back then in our time, maybe censorship was a thing. I wouldn't say it wasn't. So no, I did not watch with my dad the John Denver pooping scene in the movie. In fact, we landed on the movie when the air hostess is putting on a plane tag for the new flight on Alex's bag.
Have you received any packages from persons unknown to you? Same as your birthday.
When?
September 25, 9:25.
So what happens is she adds a new one that settles in because hey, it's an airport movie with an actiony name, and maybe it's about hijacking or maybe moving criminals or not snakes on a plane or something. Maybe I don't know, but maybe something like Red Eye. And if you haven't seen that movie, which is awesome, you do watch it now, go back there, watch it and come back and tell me how it was, because it was awesome. It has Cillian Murphy, it has Rachel McAdams, and solid plot. So yeah, back to where we are. So we settle in. I remember the ominous vibe, and I still can't look down. I've been on many flights, and I still can't look down when I'm boarding a plane, between, the gap between the plane and the land, So when you're boarding, because it was so perfectly ominous in the movie. And the movie goes on, and Dad and I watch, and we talk, and we theorize what it's about, and suddenly, boom, out of nowhere, and we're like, no way, did we just catch the end of some movie? Was this the end? And we're wondering this when we're wondering if we just spoiled a really good movie for ourselves, and we're in the middle of thinking this, and Alex Browning, Jack that he is, wakes up. Yes. So that shock in real time, I think I'm very lucky that experience in real time. I'm sure a lot of people also receive that shock, and I'm glad to be part of that community, because because the feeling we got from that, the look my dad and I shared, it was pure surprise, it was shock, it was intrigue. This was gonna be good. So then obviously they're thrown out, they've caused a disruptance, and they're arguing, and Alex Browning says to Carter, hey, I wish you were on that plane.
In Paris? All because Browning has a bad fucking dream? But wait, but the plane, it's gonna blow up, it's gonna blow up. Hey, fuck you, Horton. Okay,
Todd.
fuck you.
Dude, you're taken to the fucking hospital!
Get off him! Jared! Hey, Alex, stop it!
There they go. Here we stay.
You're paying for my trick, Brownie. You're on that plane! You fucking brat! Oh, shit!
And again, boom, my dad and I, oh my god, how many boomerang shocks are you gonna give a 10-year-old girl and a 42-year-old man in 2 to 5 minutes? I don't know, in 10 minutes. Man, the things millennials were allowed to watch as kids, I swear, no wonder we're all so fucked up. Anyways, to be fair, my dad did try turning it off. I wasn't allowed to watch horror movies. I was a scaredy cat. I used to disrupt my parents' sleep cycles, but now I'm the person who doesn't watch movies like this, sort of just. I'm the person who goes like, oh, come on, be creative. That's an obvious jump scare. Come on, that's not scary. So yeah. So that's why it's so special, and that's why I'm covering it here today. And I hope that you get to share in that experience with me, walk through the film with me, and we'll chat about it one way, or leave comments, leave your experiences. Maybe you had a similar experience back in 2000, 2001, whatever. Leave a comment, let me know. But yeah, this intro ran a little long, but the story was just the context. But let's get into it. Now, as we are all aware, studios and executives and higher ups or whatevs are just scrambling around trying to find any successful IP to reboot or relaunch, and now they've landed on the 2000s phenomenon Final Destination franchise, or so I thought. And yes, that's right, I called it a phenomenon. That's what it was. That's what it was. I stand by it. I truly do. Now, 90% of the time, the reboot or sequel or prequel or requel or prequel, whatever, has sucked so bad it just makes you lose faith in humanity. And then the other 10% becomes sort of the saving grace and comes in and just keeps the rest of the group going. This is how we get gems like Scream 5 or disasters like Mufasa, the Lion King. Just look at this little kitty here wondering what's he been doing here in this movie, even if it's not real. But here is where Bloodline takes a completely different road. Considering the powerhouse the franchise was, even though the premise remained the same, and despite the fact the Final Destination, the fourth installment, which I consider to be the weakest one, I don't know about all of you, when they were filming Final Destination 5, actor Tony Todd, may he rest in peace, said that there were plans for another film already in the works if Final Destination 5 was successful. So yeah guys, they weren't about to stop the movies at 5. They were simply self-aware and smart enough to not only provide us with a prequel to the first one and a twist ending that would leave us completely bewildered, they were trying to reimagine the movies so that the formula did not get too boring and predictable. Because yeah, a new crop of people comes in, they die in horrific ways after averting a disaster, and that's how it went for 5 movies, and we all watched them. But they knew that it would get old soon, and they predicted that. So now this is not a reboot. Because actor Tony Todd himself said that it is too strong a word for what they were doing. Not verbatim, I might add. They were just expanding the creative flexibility of the series to aim it at first responders, and hell yeah, that would have been awesome. I mean, I don't know what people's response on that would be, considering the world that we live in and the violence that surrounds us, or that we go through on a daily basis, that we're so desensitized that we make a movie out of it or something. But maybe fictional disasters wouldn't have been a bad thing. Having an EMT have a vision where something bad is about to happen to his friends or her friends, and the people they don't know, and they just that actually does happen, and that sets up, but whatever. I think in my opinion that's an excellent premise as well, and a lot can be done there. I mean, but probably that didn't work out. Maybe the script didn't work out as planned. So here we got the Bloodlines premise, which honestly, solid choice, solid idea. I'm all for it. Now, while I think the movie is great and it has so many Easter eggs, and leave some likes down there in triple digits, because this is my first video, so triple digit likes. I'll point out all the Easter eggs, and I'll do a whole Easter egg video. I feel the third act could have been done a little better. Even the acting felt a little flat for me over there. I don't know who I am to say that, but maybe this video feels flat to you. Not really. I know. I think I'm entertaining you enough, aren't I? I don't know. Final Destination is known for its watchability. The disasters, the Rube Goldberg-esque mechanism deaths that are so horrifying. You think that wouldn't it have been better if I had just died in the first disaster? You know what I mean? So, and the Rube Goldberg, for those who aren't familiar, Rube Goldberg mechanism is basically a very elaborate series of events that happen, or traps and contraptions, etc., that happen to achieve an end result. So imagine Home Alone traps being deadly, or what Final Destination does, or the gymnastics scene in Final Destination 5 is a perfect example of the Rube Goldberg mechanism. So, not only that, but there were also two sequels, not just one, two sequels planned before Final Destination 5 was even out. So, it was just dependent on how successful it was going to be, which it did. I mean, with that ending, are you kidding me? Also, side note, it makes total sense why Bloodworth never ever recommended taking another life in the other two movies he appeared in, because he wasn't in 3 and 4, remember? So basically, he saw what it did to the paper company employees in 5, which was actually the prequel to 1, and he said, "No, man, I'm not recommending murdering anyone in 1 or 2. No." I think that's what he thought. Paper company employees, man, those are the people to watch out for.
What does it say under martial arts training?
Various weaponry strategically placed around the office. I saved Jim's life with a can of pepper spray I had velcroed under my desk. People say, "Oh, it's dangerous to keep weapons in the home or the workplace." Well, I say, it's better to be hurt by someone you know accidentally than by a stranger on purpose.
Don't. Stop. Dwight, stop.
Oh,
stop.
no! Oh, no!
Stop.
Oh, no! Yes! Take my rat!
Okay.
Huh? Like
Okay.
that?
Seriously. Okay.
Huh?
Okay.
Yes, I have a wig for every single person in the office. You never know when you're going to need to bear a passing resemblance to someone.
I just want it to...
So, it was first set to set a stream on HBO Max, but eventually got a theatrical release. It's so far made almost 190 million and has the highest reviews and ratings, and I attribute a large part of that to the returning fans such as me and you, and who definitely missed the series in one way or another. Some interesting facts before we go into the movie, and I hope I'm not boring you. If I am, just turn to Luffy here and complain. He's my complaint manager. I'm hiding him. But anyways, some interesting facts before we go into the movie. Final Destination Bloodlines broke one record and is in second place for another, which are both really funny. It's the second, this is not the funny one, it's the second most watched trailer after It Part 1 that came out in 2017. Final Destination garnered almost 180 million trailer views in the first 24 hours upon being uploaded. And that's amazing. The second is a little spoilery, so if you don't want to skip that, you can move on to 15 seconds. It also broke the record for second, setting the oldest person on fire to date. So, and I mean, in a premonition scene, and if that isn't badass, I don't know what is. What's interesting is the actress is 71 years old. Yvette Ferguson, she came out of retirement just for that scene. Man, what an awesome roller coaster. So, as if breathing new life into the franchise about death wasn't enough, they doubled down with a prank on Mother's Day, where they even did a prank viewing, retitling the movie Final Destination Bloodlines into Love at the Sky View. People went with their mothers to watch the movie, thinking it was a romantic comedy, but turned out that the movie was about, well, that. Another interesting fact, even though this movie was conceived before Final Destination 5, in their pitch meeting to New Line Cinema, Lipovsky and Stein, the directors of this movie, staged a freak Final Destination type accident with pre-recorded footage, pre-recorded audio, and pre-recorded footage and visual effects. So that truly showed that this wasn't a cash grab for them. This was a passion project, and that's why it's done so well, in my opinion. And not just my opinion, look at the reviews here, and come on. So yeah, this is also the third Final Destination film to get a soundtrack with 32 songs by Tim Wynn, and 11 are existing songs and others are composed for the film. And obviously shooting, the reason it came out so late is because shooting was delayed due to the SAG-AFTRA strikes, and that's why production began in March of 2024, and now we have Final Destination 6. So now that I've rambled on enough, let's get into the movie and watch it together and talk about it, because that's what we do. That's what we. And I'm just starting this channel to satisfy this movie loving geek inside me. So let's talk about it. Yes. Side note, I do want to emphasize that Bloodline thankfully falls in the latter and just proves that nostalgia, while being a powerful tool, is not enough. It needs good writing, good acting, a plot, characters, and in short, you need to tell a good story, a good lesson for other franchises. If you are one of those, you know what I'm talking about. Leave a like, subscribe, and have a great day. Goodbye.